In this video, let's see how we can finish off this small project using creating some renderings. And Revit has a rendering inbuilt rendering system, and we can use that as well. We've seen how we can use Enscape easily by just clicking one button, but Revit comes with a renderer inbuilt. So for example, if you're working in a company and they don't have access to Enscape, and if they do have access to Revit though, you can use the inbuilt renderer inside of Revit. So what you need to do is you need to just go into the View tab, and then go to the Presentations panel and then Render. I'm going to click on Render, and it pops up this dialog box which has a render button, and I can render a region just to see how it looks like. What render region means is I can just select one section of the drawing by just clicking here, and I can just move this in order to save time. I can render a small section here and then see how the quality is, but I don't need to do that. So the setting, you can change it to medium, high, best, and etc., but I'm going to leave it as draft. The resolution, you can change it if you want to send this to a print. So 150 dpi would do, but I'm just going to leave it as screen, and the size of the image is going to be really small. That's good because it's going to take less time for us to render this and see how it works. The lighting, since this is an interior scene, I can select interior sun and artificial, so the sunlight comes in and I have some cans here, so both of those work. And I can theoretically I can go to artificial lights and select which lights I want to work. I have this table lamp here. If I want, I don't want that to be rendered, I can uncheck this. This becomes valuable, especially when you're rendering large spaces. You can switch off certain lights to save computational power. In this case, it's not really a big deal. We have a few lights here, so I'm not going to mess around with it. And the style of the background, what I see from the windows, I can select if I want to see no clouds, very few, so on and so forth. So a few clouds is fine, and that's it. Let's see what that does to my model. So let's do a render. So this is the render that we got, and we can adjust the exposure. If I wanted to, I can go here and change the exposure and make it dark. Around 9 and 10 is the best lighting condition that we can have, so around 9ish. I think this is fine, and if I had it at a better quality instead of draft, maybe this would look much better. So this is one way to render it out, and I can save my image to my project. So I can say save, and that's going to save as a JPEG, and I'm going to close this off. And if I go here under renderings, I have that image available to be added to the project. Another thing that we can do is we can go and render in the cloud. So what it does is it doesn't use your computer's resources in order to render. Now when you just do a normal render, it takes a while to render, but to render in the cloud, what it does is it logs us into our Autodesk account, and it sends our model to Autodesk, and let me sign in, and it renders in the Autodesk servers. So that reduces the use of your computer's computational power, and it's going to ask you a couple of questions. Step 1, on the next screen, select the 3D views that I want to render, and it'll let me know when it's ready. So let's see. So the 3D view 2 is what I want, a still image is what I want, a standard exposure is that. I'm going to render it out. And for students this is free, but if you're working for a company, it might cost them, the company, to use this particular service, because you're using Autodesk's servers in order to render. So this is actually rendering, and once it's rendered, it'll tell you, or it'll email you saying the render is complete. And it might take a while for them to get back, because of the fact that there are a lot of people using this particular service. So depending on the time of day, it might take a while. So that's the second method of rendering. The third method is the easiest way that we know right now, which is by using Inkscape. So you can go here, click on the start button, let it render, and once it's done, you can manipulate the view just a tad, moving the angle because it's real time, so you can manipulate the way that you're seeing the environment, like so, which is a really valuable thing, especially in terms of rendering. So once it's done, what I can do is I can take a screenshot. So I can save this to my desktop. So that's it. And those are the 3 ways of creating renderings in Inkscape.